I am a young woman living alone in this huge city. Every morning, I wake up in a tiny rented room that barely has enough space for a small bed, an old fan, and a few sets of clothes. Outside my window, tall buildings shine in the morning sun. Inside, I begin my day by counting the few dollars I have left in my wallet. This city is home to millions of people, yet sometimes I feel completely invisible. Everyone rushes to work in clean, stylish clothes, while I put on my faded work uniform and head to my low-paying job. I work hard every single day, but my income is only enough to cover my rent, simple meals, and basic living expenses. I don't have many choices except to keep moving forward. My lunch is usually very simple. Some days it's just a bowl of instant noodles or a cheap lunchbox. As I walk past busy restaurants filled with happy customers, I quietly tell myself that one day, my life will be different. In the afternoon, I continue working until my hands are sore and my body is exhausted. Nobody knows my name. I'm just another ordinary worker among thousands of people trying to survive in this city. When night falls, the bright lights from the skyscrapers make the city look beautiful. Families gather around the dinner table, friends laugh together on the streets, while I quietly make my way back to my tiny room. Sometimes, I feel lonely. I miss having someone to talk to after a long day, but for now, all I have is myself. Even so, I refuse to give up. I believe that where you come from does not decide where you will end up. Today, I may be just a poor young woman struggling at the bottom of society, but as long as I keep working hard every day, I still have the right to dream of a better tomorrow. This is my life, simple, difficult, and often lonely. But no matter how hard life gets, I will never stop hoping for a brighter future. The next morning, my alarm rang before sunrise. I opened my eyes, but my body still felt tired from yesterday. My back ached, and my legs were sore, but I couldn't stay in bed. If I didn't go to work, I wouldn't earn any money. I washed my face with cold water, put on the same old uniform, and quietly left my tiny room. The streets were already busy. Expensive cars drove past me while people in business suits hurried to their offices. I kept my head down and continued walking toward my workplace. Breakfast was simple, a piece of bread and a bottle of water. I ate while walking because I couldn't afford to waste time or money. Every dollar mattered. When I arrived at work, another long day began. I cleaned, carried heavy things, and worked non-stop for hours. My hands became rough, and sweat covered my face, but I kept going. Complaining wouldn't change anything. Around noon, I sat alone during my short break. I watched other workers laughing together while eating their lunches. I smiled quietly, even though I felt lonely. Living alone had taught me how to hide my feelings. In the afternoon, the weather became hotter. The sun burned down on the streets, making every step feel heavier. My clothes were soaked with sweat, and I felt completely exhausted. Still, I reminded myself that giving up wasn't an option. After work, I checked my pocket and counted the money I had earned today. It wasn't much, but at least it was enough to buy a simple dinner and pay for another day of survival. As I walked home, I passed luxury stores with bright lights shining through the windows. Beautiful clothes, expensive bags, and delicious food were everywhere. For a moment, I stopped and looked inside. Then I smiled softly and kept walking. Those things were not part of my life, at least not yet. Back in my tiny room, I sat on my bed and looked around. The room was small, quiet, and empty, but it was still the only place I could call home. Before going to sleep, I whispered to myself, tomorrow will be another hard day. But as long as I keep moving forward, I will never lose hope. Then I turned off the light, closed my eyes, and waited for another sunrise. Another morning arrived, just like every other day. The sound of traffic outside my window woke me before my alarm. I stretched my tired body, took a deep breath, and got ready for work once again. There was no time to rest. Rent was due soon, and I couldn't afford to miss a single day. I opened my wallet before leaving. There were only a few bills left. I quietly smiled and told myself, just make it through today. The morning air was cool, but the city was already alive. Thousands of people hurried to work, each carrying their own dreams. I was no different. My dream was simple: to earn enough money to survive and, one day, build a better life. Work was even harder today. There were more tasks than usual, and everyone was expected to move faster. I spent hours cleaning, lifting, and working without a proper break. By midday, my arms felt weak, and my feet hurt with every step. For lunch, I bought the cheapest meal I could find. I sat alone on a small bench beside the road, eating slowly while watching people pass by. Some were laughing with friends, others were holding hands with someone they loved. I wondered what it would feel like to have someone waiting for me at home. But those thoughts disappeared as soon as my break ended. The afternoon brought dark clouds across the sky. Soon, heavy rain poured down on the city. My clothes became wet, and my shoes were soaked, but the work didn't stop. I continued doing my job in the rain because I needed every dollar I could earn. By the time my shift finally ended, the rain had stopped. The streets reflected the colorful lights of the city, making everything look beautiful. I slowly walked back to my tiny room, carrying nothing but my small bag and another day of exhaustion. After taking a quick shower, I cooked a simple dinner with the last ingredients I had. It wasn't much, but it was enough to fill my empty stomach. Before going to bed, I stood by the window and looked at the city lights. Somewhere out there, people were celebrating success, enjoying expensive dinners, or spending time with their families. Meanwhile, I stood alone in silence. Still, I didn't envy them. Everyone has their own journey, and this was mine. Maybe I was living at the bottom of society today, but I believed that every difficult day was making me stronger. Tomorrow, I would wake up again. Tomorrow, I would keep fighting. Because hope was the one thing that poverty could never take away from me. There were more tasks than usual, and everyone was expected to move faster. I spent hours cleaning, lifting, and working without a proper break. By midday, my arms felt weak, and my feet hurt with every step. For lunch, I bought the cheapest meal I could find. I sat alone on a small bench beside the road, eating slowly while watching people pass by. Some were laughing with friends, others were holding hands with someone they loved. I wondered what it would feel like to have someone waiting for me at home. But those thoughts disappeared as soon as my break ended. The afternoon brought dark clouds across the sky. Soon, heavy rain poured down on the city. My clothes became wet, and my shoes were soaked, but the work didn't stop. I continued doing my job in the rain because I needed every dollar I could earn. By the time my shift finally ended, the rain had stopped. The streets reflected the colorful lights of the city, making everything look beautiful. I slowly walked back to my tiny room, carrying nothing but my small bag and another day of exhaustion. After taking a quick shower, I cooked a simple dinner with the last ingredients I had. It wasn't much, but it was enough to fill my empty stomach. Before going to bed, I stood by the window and looked at the city lights. Somewhere out there, people were celebrating success, enjoying expensive dinners, or spending time with their families. Meanwhile, I stood alone in silence.